Hello, my beautiful thinking people. It's wonderful to be with you once again. I'd like to have a little chat. And this one, I'm going to answer a question. What exactly is a leader? So, as it relates to leadership, of course, right? And of course, we have these ideas of what we've been told are leaders. We've had these images put into our mind as to what we should consider a good leader. And then we've conversely been given images of those we should never follow. Never follow. So instead of organically being chosen as leaders or followers, we are all given a designation. And just by the fact that they were telling us who we should follow and who we shouldn't, meant that they believed we were all followers. That's first and foremost. And I'm going to tell you something straight out of the 1585 Club. There are no clear leaders, and there are no clear followers. But we can say unequivocally that if you take 1,000 people, you're going to find, I'd say, again, this is guesstimate, we don't have scientific evidence to back this up. These are coming from the minds of the 1585 group. Let's say 25% are never, ever going to be capable of performing the leadership role in anything other than how to reach the bottom. Okay? And if that's what you want to follow, that's fine. Because there are some people who absolutely are incapable of conceiving of themselves actually doing something against the norm. That's okay. Because guess what? If we don't have those people, who shall we lead? If everyone was a leader, who would they lead? Now, in that respect, you can say unequivocally everyone is a leader. Because yes, you're responsible to lead yourself down the path that you've chosen. Now, on that path, are there people who can help you or people who are going to hold you back? Are there people who are going to say, look past that obstacle? I found a way around it already. Or are you going to sit there and bang into that brick wall because you want to feel like a leader? It's your choice. And anything you choose to do is not for anybody else to say you should or shouldn't do it. It's your choice. So let's take a look at what is a real leader. Would you say a politician who's elected to run an entire country is actually a leader? Would you say that the person who does his research, and we're talking about the leader of a country, be he or she or whatever, do you think they should be the leader? Pause. Take as much time as you want to think that over. And I will tell you this. In our day and age, none of them are actual leaders. And the reason I say this, and I'm not saying this to determine their future and their fate, but I'm saying this to determine my own fate. I will not follow them. And the reason I will not follow them is this. If you are trained to be a butcher, and you have a butcher knife in your hand, and your skill is such that you could slice a wafer-thin piece of skin from anything you'd like, and you invite me to dinner, and you're holding a butcher knife as I enter the room, I'm not going to feel comfortable. Sorry. I'm not going to feel comfortable. Regardless of whether you're the lead butcher and you just always carry a knife everywhere you go. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to follow. Okay? Just to let you know that. The reason why is because you've been taught extremely well how to wield that knife. What if I sat in the wrong chair and that butcher got upset? What if I picked up the wrong fork or the wrong spoon, started to eat the meal that this butcher had prepared, and they got upset? Do not follow down the path of chaos and sure destruction unless you know what awaits you on the other end. Calculated decision making is what makes a leader. Someone who doesn't run headlong into the brick wall because he was told that it was fake, that it was created by the film industry to be fake, and that if you run into it real hard, you're going to bust it apart. Go ahead. If you want to go run into it, I'm not going to stop you. I'll give you a suggestion and say, before you go run into that brick wall, you'll want to go over, knock on it, squeeze it, see if it's foam, or see if it's actual brick. And if you don't want to listen to my advice, hey, enjoy yourself. Because you know what you're doing? You're creating entertainment for people like me, who, after giving you the best advice we can give you, watch you run into that brick wall and find out it's not foam. Don't tell me you didn't just chuckle at the thought of that. You've given somebody all the advice you can give them, they still run into the brick wall, and you're not going to chuckle? I'm going to chuckle. Sorry, that's me. You don't have to be me. You don't have to be like me. You don't have to do like me. But guess what? I believe if you're truthful with yourself, you would have chuckled. So leadership. There are some people that we call born leaders. Do you know what I found in my lifetime? The people that we called born leaders were some of the most attractive people in the world. And we thought because they were attractive, that made them credible. So a lot of people followed the advice of the attractive people in the world and were doomed to chaos. And I'm going to tell you one reason why. The most attractive people in the world don't like competition. They don't. Now, let me give a caveat, or I'm going to make a carve out. There's actually one person I know in this world, one, only one, that I have met in all my years and everywhere I went, who was probably the most attractive person in the world. And I mean probably, and I'm not even exaggerating, was probably one of the most attractive people in the world and had no clue. Authentically, no clue. Like, do you remember Popeye and olive oil? So, if you looked at olive oil and said, you are the most, well, which Popeye used to do, and she used to get so flattered and the hearts would fly out of her, that she was like just amazingly gorgeous. Well, all of us would look at her and say, no. So I'm not talking about the actual olive oil. I'm talking about an olive oil who actually was one of the most gorgeous people in the world who didn't know it. Can you follow that person and say they're a leader? They're not going to lead you down a path that you want to power, or a path that you're looking for to massive success. But they're going to lead you down a very humble, wonderful road that should be part of your life. Remember, part of your life. You cannot follow somebody just because of their looks. You cannot follow anybody unless you've done your due diligence and you realize that they are true leaders. So ask yourself something. When is the last time you followed a faux leader? Seriously, to yourself. You don't have to tell me. You ask yourself, when's the last time you followed a faux leader? And that you realized, oh, that was so wrong. Maybe I should have listened to that leader. Because that leader seemed to have had it together better than this leader. They turned out to be totally wrong. Think about those times. And then multiply that. Find another one. And another one. And another one. And I want you to seriously, in your own mind, look at what made you follow the wrong leader. And what do you think of the real leader? Do you still hold them in low regard or high regard or nothing at all? Folks, I have been observing leadership all around. And I can tell you right now, it's sad. It's actually scary. The people who have put themselves in leadership positions and have basically proclaimed themselves to be the arbiter of truth, of reality, of life itself. Very disappointing group of people. Very disappointing group of people. Not everyone. Because I have observed some real solid leaders. The kind who stand up when everybody is pointing a gun at them and says, put your guns down. Because it's the right thing to do. And I'm not talking about gun control. I'm talking about while these people are ready to put that individual into the afterlife. And he is undeterred. That what he stands for, he will continue to stand for regardless of those guns. And not just any random person who says, this fly is the most important fly in the world, and if you try to harm this fly, you will have to kill me first. I'll be the one in the back who's preparing the coffin. Because that person's going to get shot. Dead. Okay? That's not a leader. That is not my definition of a leader. Just because you're willing to face death for your principles does not make you a leader. Except of one. You can be a leader of one, and then some others might, okay, trudge along with you. And by the way, folks, don't ever insult lemurs by saying that they're that type that will just follow along without doing their own research. They'll just walk off the edge of the cliff because the one before them did. That's not true. Lemurs are not like that. They're not that stupid at all. Or, sorry, lemurs. Lemurs, they're so cute. No, lemmings, I'm talking about lemmings. I apologize. Don't follow me down that road of conversation of the lemurs versus the lemmings. Folks, please do some soul searching. Look into yourself. Find out who are the people that have been around you that have been telling you nothing but the straight truths. Nothing but reality. Didn't sugarcoat anything, and were willing to stand up for those principles. And principles that you knew down inside you were correct. Even if you chose the other way, just admit to yourself. It's not that you have to come out of the closet and tell us all how wrong you've been. This is not an AA meeting where you have to confess all your stuff and try to repent in some way. No, that's something I want you to do with yourself. Between you and your higher power. But then I want you to reflect it when you come out of that closet. Reflect it. Show people in the world that you are the best leader you can be. And let them choose. Be the best leader you can be. Not the best leader I want you to be, or I think you should be, or I'm telling you you have to be. No. Look inside yourself. Do yourself justice. Make sure you can look at yourself and say, I am the best leader I can be. Not perfectly the best leader, but the best leader I can be under my circumstances in my time period. And you'll be just fine. And you will find those people who are following you. You'll create your own 1585 club. You will grow that club and nurture it and bring as much to the table as you can. I think that's all we can do in this world. Gather our knowledge. It's the only power we will ever have. The only power. Don't disappoint yourself. I love y'all. Remember, we don't give up. We don't give in. But we always keep an open mind so we can gather that knowledge, which is our only power. So, stay safe, stay healthy, and above all else, stay as happy as humanly possible. Take care. Till next time.